Since you guys all love the Venus videos so much, I decided to get it on and start a Mars series for you because Mars is also a really exciting planet. Especially because Mars and Venus are kind of a couple. You know, Mars is about sexuality and our drive and our energy, and Venus is about our romance and our more soft, feminine, emotional side. So now we're gonna look into the more rough, masculine side of our love life and check out what your Mars says about you. And in my videos, I'm gonna be looking at 4 aspects of Mars. The first aspect is the actual physical energy, because that's also what Mars means. So Mars tells us how much energy we have, like how much energy does our body produce, because not everybody wakes up with the same amount of energy at the beginning of the day. We wish it was like that, but we actually know it's not. So that's the first aspect, physical energy in sports. Second energy of Mars is the how we do things, the doing, the action. So when we have a goal, how do we go on about getting there? This is also something that Mars tells us, like how do you do things you do? What is your way of doing? The third aspect of Mars is conflict. How do you handle conflict? How do you fight? Do you fight at all? And the last aspect is sexuality, of course. What do you like? What do you not like? What attracts you? What doesn't attract you? Because what's very important to distinguish, and all astrologers learn that and know that, is that Mars and Venus are not the same thing. So love and sex are not the same thing for most humans, unless you maybe have a conjunction of Venus and Mars, so that's kind of the same for you. But normally people who have sexuality and romance in different signs, i.e. Mars and Venus in different signs, they just feel emotionally attracted to one kind of people and sexually attracted to another kind of people, and that usually creates some conflict inside of their head. But I'm here to tell you that that's pretty normal, and you just need to get to know yourself and learn how to deal with it. So let's get started. Mars in Aries. So Mars in Aries is a Mars that sits in a fire sign and a cardinal one. So all signs are divided up into elements, which can be water, fire, earth, and air, and into qualities, which can be cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So Aries is a cardinal fire sign. Cardinals are starters. They love starting things. So the Aryan Mars energy is like full on at the beginning. How that translates into the 4 aspects we want to look at is, okay, physical energy and sports. Let's say they are very energetic at the beginning of the day. They wake up with a lot of energy, or every time they start something new, they have a lot of energy. They invest all in it, but they are not so good in rationing their energy, you know, like making it last for a long time, because they don't think very much ahead. So they just like burst out all of their energy right at the beginning, and then they could burn up quickly. So they are good at starting things, but they're not the persons who are going to continue them. Same thing with the energy. So they are very energetic in the beginning, but then suddenly it's like a flip and they have no energy anymore. It's not like even a sudden slow decline, it's just a sudden like loss of energy. That's how Mars in Aries happens. Yeah, what happens to Mars in Aries? So they need sport. They definitely need sports because they always feel this kind of intense energy within them, like they can do a lot, and they're themselves not that aware of the fact that they don't last very long in the things they do. So the best thing to do for them would be some short and intense sports to kind of, you know, get rid of this Martian energy. Like, I don't know, HIIT training or CrossFit or something that's like really intense on the body, very physical, but not too long. Doesn't like, you know, take endurance like cardio or running a marathon. That's things that are no-go for a Mars in Aries. Okay, next topic is how they do things. So, like I said, they are not the planner kind of type. So when they do things, they do them out of their gut. It's a very animalistic, instinctual behavior. They feel something and they're like, pfft, but the feeling is not mental or emotional. It's not from the head or the heart. It's from the gut. And it's like, I feel I want to, and I do. Like there's no more thinking between the feeling and the doing. Or I don't want to even call it feeling, let's call it instinct. It's not intuition, it's instinct. Like animalistic physical instinct. They know like when something is right, when they want to do something. They know it by, their gut feeling. So they feel, they do. There is nothing in between. So starting something comes very easily to them. Their actions are not very well thought through. And they don't know this, okay? They don't think about this. So Mars in Aries people are very, very dependent on feedback. They need this. And they are not going to get angry at all. Like if you give them criticism or anything about their actions, they actually need this. They need other people to come back and tell them how it was, what they did. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it effective? Was it not effective? Did it serve the purpose or not? So they need this feedback in order to know how they're doing, because they don't have this internal feedback mechanism. They spend very little time reflecting on themselves and what they are doing or how they're doing it. It's more like an instinctual, very natural way of doing. Very admirable. Like when you see these people doing things, it just looks so effortless. For them, it takes zero effort to just do and start something. It just looks very, very natural and instinctual, which it is. So it is essential for them to get feedback on their actions so that they can improve. Otherwise, they will just keep on going into the same direction, like blindly. And if that direction is wrong, then they're screwed, basically, okay? So if you see like a Mars and Aries person just like going with their head through the wall, don't hesitate to stop them, because they don't always know what they're doing. They need the help. So stop them, be like, hey, don't you want to look at this and this and this and this factors before you do something? They'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll like burst into action again. So this is the way they function. They'll like very rarely get offended by anything you say to them, because they don't take things very personal. They don't do that. So you give them criticism, they just like adjust their action and they go again. So feedback mechanisms, very crucial when you're dealing with Mars in Aries people. When it comes to conflict, again, this is supernatural to them. They are warrior types, they don't really shy away from conflict. They don't even perceive it as something negative. For them, conflict is just a super normal part of life. They enjoy it. They like being in this energy. For them, it's not even stressful. It's kind of comfortable. They can stand in the middle of a war, in the middle of conflict, and just scream and shout and throw a tantrum, and then after a minute they're fine. For them, it really doesn't even like get to an emotional level where they get emotionally offended by what happened. For them, conflict is just a very natural way of throwing out the anger energy that kind of builds up inside of you. They throw it out, they get rid of it, they throw their tantrum, and then they're over it. Next second they're like, okay, fine, let's go drink a beer. So it really doesn't affect them. It really doesn't matter. They are not the types who are going to be holding on to a grudge for a long time, or just not letting go, not forgiving. They're like we fight, we forgive and we forget, and let's go kind of people. So this is also a good quality. So when you fight with a Mars and Aries person, they can get intense, they can scream, they really don't have much control of their anger, but once it gets out there, they're okay. They just go on. So don't take it too seriously. Just listen. Just stand there and be like, okay, get it over with, throw it all out on me, and then let's go. So this is how Mars in Aries people deal with anger. Throw it out and move on. Easy. Fight and forget. Okay. And the last part about Mars in Aries is the sexuality part. So here, like in all other parts of their life, they are very impulsive and very animalistic. So accordingly, Mars and Aries people are attracted to very overt, very primal signs of sexuality. So they will love you know, seeing people dressed up very promiscuous, what other people would call cheap or promiscuous. For them, that's like the thing that catches their eye. So I don't know, they are the kind of people who would go for the porn stars, go for the stripper, or always go for the girl with the biggest boobs and the shortest skirt in the club. You know, they really like this very overt, very direct expression of sexuality, like visually. Um, they are hunters for sure. Like, they love to conquer. When they see something, they want to win, they want to have it, and as long as they don't have it, they will keep trying. So a no is something that a Mars in Aries doesn't understand. Like, there's no way. Absolutely doesn't understand a no. So as long as they can, they will keep trying to get that person that they feel attracted to, because this attraction for them comes out of their gut. It's kind of natural. It just immediately expresses itself. So also the way they hit on somebody, or the way they try to get that sexual contact, can for other people sometimes seem a little too assertive. It's very straightforward, you know. They will come to you and they will like ask for it right away. They don't know the kind of, I don't know, a workaround or to be charming or whatever. They just want what they want. And so the only way to keep their attention is really to not give them everything, because they only want, well, it's not like it's a conscious thing that they only want to win, that they only want to use you. It's just how it works for them. So when they feel like they got everything from you, that's when they lose their interest. They're looking for the next conqueror. Like, where's the next thing I can win? You know. But if you don't give them all they want, if they have this feeling like I didn't get everything from that person, they will keep trying. So the best way, if you want to keep a Mars in Aries, if you want to keep them interested in you, you do have to play a little bit of a game here. You know, that game of hot and cold, and I'm here, I'm not here. So stability is not very much their thing, at least not in the sex life. So Mars only talks about our sex life. This person could still have a very stable Venus, which would say they would look for a romantic relationship that is durable and stable, but then sexually they would still like to be open, maybe. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. When it comes to the sex act itself, it can be very short sometimes. Because, like I said, sometimes they don't know how to ration their energy. The way the Mars in Aries energy expresses itself is like explosive. So sometimes with the Mars in Aries, you might find yourself in the I'm done, I'm get out of here scenario, where you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, I think when these people like grow older and really manage to handle their energy, they can and become aware of this themselves, or through feedback from other people, which is more likely. They obviously can train and become better, but young Mars in Aries people might be kind of a little self-oriented in bed, and yeah, not very durable, because their energy just just wastes itself very quickly. So it can be like a very intense, very passionate 5 minutes, but that's it. Okay, I think this is what it is with Mars in Aries. I hope you enjoyed, and let's go on with the series.